Hi, ho everyone, my name is Mr.Fruit, and welcome to the GG over Easy YOLO Solo Bolo Yapcast. Your boys back at it again. This time with 100% less other people again, because yeah, I'm here alone.
That's right. Chubby's is back again sponsoring the GG Over Easy podcast, and we couldn't be more excited. Spring is almost here, so it's time to shake off those heavy layers and burst out those beautiful thighs, gentlemen. Whether you're on spring break, headed to a barbecue, or playing a round of golf, or delivering a podcast ad read, Chubby's has the styles for your spring occasion. I've been wearing their original stretch shorts, and I'm not joking, you guys. After the years of LBs I've gotten gained over the years, they still fit comfortably, and they're awesome. Experience the unmatched comfort and style with Chubby's iconic original stretch short. Depending on how much thigh you're looking to show, Chubby's makes them 4, 5.5, and 7-inch seams. Enjoy the classic men khaki style with added comfort of elastic. So whether you're going to get dressed for a work day, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our viewers 20% off your order with the code EASY at chubbyshorts.com. And that's code EZ at chubbyshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubby's.
I can't wait any longer, so I don't want to keep you all without an episode this weekend, because that's probably what's going to happen. Otherwise, don't know how long this one's going to be. I appreciate all the support on the last YAP cast of mine. It was very kind of you all. I appreciate you all taking note of how well I can just yap sometimes. So I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, but it's a thing. So I guess I'll take it as a plus. So you're getting more of it. Congratulations. I have some topics here today. We'll see if I can get to them all. I might be missing some stuff from this previous week, but since it's just me, you're more so just going to be getting updates or thoughts on whatever I've been up to or looking at. So with that said, we'll hop into it. But before we do, yeah, I'm recording this solo anyway because we won't have time to reschedule. I need a day off, but it looks like today won't be that day. So we're doing this. And leads me to my first thing I wanted to talk about. I got to get this done soon because I'm meeting my dad at the gym in a little over an hour. Yeah, boy is 5 for 5 of this past week on workouts, which hasn't happened since a long time ago. All right, your boy's been out of it. You know, people have been asking me, Mr. Fruit, how's the fitness journey been? Well, you know, honestly, on and off, it's been pretty hit or miss. Let's see. The last time I was really on just like freaking hitting it daily, bro, in my bag was right around when I hit my first burnout. I don't know if you guys ever saw that video where I talked about, it was the second Fruit Summit we had, which was Fruit Summit 2022. I can't even keep straight. But during that, and specifically the hot wing episode, it was the trivia where we did the hot wing spice thing. Your boy had a bit of a breakdown, which is why I wasn't really much of that video. And afterwards, I learned, I just eventually hit my physical and mental limit and ended up burning out. And then since then, I've had a tough time getting back into the gym just daily. And I've had my bouts. Was sort of getting back into it last summer. Then I had my giant jaw surgery, and that threw everything for a loop. And then I was kind of trying to get back on the horse. And then I had all my traveling and stuff. And then I got sick and freaking blah, 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 blah. So things kept coming up. But the one thing that was pretty consistent was, although I wasn't doing weights, I was at least getting some cardio. Maybe doing like the elliptical 45 minutes to an hour most every day, at least just to get moving. And that stopped being the case after my surgery. So I haven't even been doing cardio. So your boy's put on 10 pounds. That was 160. Your boy's sitting 170. I worked hard and for years to get down to 160, bro. That's hard for me, all right? Because I don't have that fast metabolism. Your boy puts on weight, which is good and bad, but unfortunately my body does not discriminate between fat and muscle. So although I can build some muscle, it comes along with some fat. Now I'm thankful that I can build muscle the way that I do. But yeah, it comes at a price. And also, while I have tried to be lean, I mean, here, I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. I think I talked about this. In fact, I had a Twitter post some time ago. I have body issues. No surprise, don't we all? I've got some mad case of body dysmorphia, I'll tell you that. And that is one thing they don't tell you about going to the gym. If you think you have body dysmorphia, we'll go to the gym, bro. It's going to go crazy. But the reason I actually started working out early high school was because, well, I was insecure with my body. And I had a little bit of a belly. And I love my dad. And I've told him this. And he still blames himself. It was totally innocuous. He didn't mean it. It was innocent. But I think it was 7th grade. I was watching a movie with my family. We were like in the living room or something. I was sitting on the couch next to my dad. And it's like, you know, people joke about like core memory unlocked or like, you know, so-and-so will remember that. Young Christian will remember that. And it will fundamentally shape the rest of his life. With the one sentence my dad was going to say, my dad didn't know what he was doing. He just goes, "Ooh, getting a bit of a belly, aren't we?" And he patted my belly. That was it. It was over, man. Then I'm like, what? Huh? And then I started to realize I'd started getting a belly. And then it had also lined up around 7th grade. I tore my, I can't even remember the name of it. Tibia, what the fudge? What the fudge? It's in my knee. I don't know. I was doing something in 7th grade. Tore whatever the fudge that thing is in my knee, which I still have an injury for, but it ended up sidelining me and pretty much put me on the couch for like months, whereas I was an active kid like every day up until that point. So I started slowing down, putting on some weight, and then got a little bit of a belly. And I've been insecure ever since. And to be honest, your boy still has a little bit of a belly. Even when I'm at 160, because you want to know why? That was what was fueling me. I was like, I'm insecure. I just want a flat stomach, bro. That's all I want, man. Please? I sucked in my stomach for like my entire life. I remember seeing a Reddit post. I'm like, oh my God. Somebody else does that. Like somebody was like, does anybody else just suck their gut in all the time? I'm like, oh my God. I'm not the only one. Now, unfortunately, it was just nice to know there are other people out there, but that still hasn't helped my body issues. Tried to do a lot of therapeutic work on it as well. Still not really comfortable in my body. But that's why my goal is always like, bro, just like try it. Get down. We'll see. So I got to tell you, I cut. I barely ate. I was miserable. And you're like, okay, you went too far. But no, I didn't actually. I mean, I was at my caloric deficit was pretty small. Kept it low. And I went there for like a year. Got down to 160. I think I originally tweeted when I hit a 150. I was like, I never thought I'd see the number. It was like 159.4 or something. Working out, cardio, heavy, good protein intake, you know? So I was pretty cut. And I still had a little bit of belly. And that's when I realized this is my body type. I'm no Chris Evans. I'm a generous 5'10", with a slow metabolism, and my body stores fat first and always in my belly. So if I wanted to lose any more fat, bro, I think it would be unhealthy. And I was already miserable. Like some people talk about it, bro. When you're cutting and stuff, you feel miserable, man. I'm like, I can't sustain this. So put back on some weight. And then I just realized I can't, like, this is just other people. That's the thing, is other people could have, you know, like more body fat than me, but you like can barely, like, they don't have a belly. Like I'm telling you, sometimes, like if I just let the gut out, it looks like I got like a pot belly sometimes. And you know, I'm sitting at like, I don't know, 13% body fat or something sometimes. And it's just because my body throws it all in the stuff. Whereas other people, they might disperse their body fat. Like it sort of equally evens out, you know? Or like that's why some people kind of get like a little man boob or something. I don't have man boobs. But I got a gut, bro. And I still struggle with that insecurity. I'm slowly getting better at it. And you know how everybody says, like, the older you get, the less you care? Oh, I can't wait for that, bro. I can't wait for the day I just wake up, my brain goes, we literally don't care anymore. That's going to be a great day. I ain't there yet, but I'm looking forward to that. So I'm trying to make progress. But that's what motivated me to get into the gym initially. But see, it's kind of like a weird way of like, you know, everything happens for a reason. Sure, my dad gave me probably the biggest insecurity I have in my entire life without him knowing. And that forced me to go to the gym. But what happened, I ended up finding I really liked the gym. And it was one of the best outlets for my depression, which I might not have otherwise found out had I not had an insecurity about my belly. So if you think about it, kind of a win-win. Like, it was kind of a glass half full situation here. But so I do love the gym. It's a good outlet. And I just feel bad. Like, I physically feel worse when I'm not able to get in, get my body moving a whole bunch. And so a big problem last year was I'd also been having a lot of energy issues. I mean, there's a lot more. The problem too is I'd gotten out of the habit either through surgery, illness, blah, 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 like burnout, whatever. And so I fell out of the habit. And, you know, I get it. People are like, bro, how do you go to the gym? It's tough. And I'd always be like, I don't know, bro. I just do it. Because I forgot how hard it was to get to the point where it's just a habit. So for the last like year and a half, I've been in that struggle, but bro, I'm with you. I have continuously been trying to get back into that, even though I've been there before. So if you haven't or you're falling out, hey, bro, same. Don't feel bad. It happens. Just keep trying. And right now, all I can say is I'm 5 days. Today, we're going to make it 6. Does that mean I'm back? I don't know. But I'm trying my very best. And it worked out because my dad had recently gone to another state. He had gotten some surgery, but he came back. And he was like, yo, just come to the gym with me. And it's a gym I don't even like to go to. But I'm like, you know what? Accountability. We're not even working out together, but it's just show up at the same time, be there. It's that accountability. And so far, it's working. So I'm back in. I got to tell you, dude, that first day, bro, that first pump, if you know, you know, man. Pump's one of the best feelings in the world, bro. And I'm like, oh, I miss this, man. So hopefully I can get back to it. Nothing is more sad than cupping my boob, you know? And it just keeps going, right? Like you know what I'm talking about? Like, see, like, here's the bottom of my pec. Ready? You see how it just, like, it glides over? Bro, used to like catch. You know what I'm saying? Because I got that tough under boob, bro. Like that bottom pec. And then it's realizing, oh my God, like I lost my boobs. It's like, man. And like I can fit my hand more around my biceps. Like, I'm literally just like my legs, bro. I'm deteriorating and it feels bad. So I'm hoping I can get back into this. I can get back into the game, get back on my grind, get back in my bag. And right now, not doing quite as much cardio. I'm trying to do it. Right now, I'm just doing, if it's a weights day, I'm doing weights. If it's not weights day, I'm doing some cardio. Steady state aerobic, nothing crazy. But I just got to get moving again, man. Because it's tough to get it and to get in there. But when you do, the day's always better. And like the thing I've always said, and I think I've heard some people say, is like, you never regret going. Like, you never regret a workout, really. Like, your body and your mind will tell you everything and give you every reason not to go. But then if you did and you did it, there's never regret. Like, wish I didn't do that. Oh, that was such a mistake. Oh, I did. Now, you might be like, I'm really sore. Like, oh, man, I'm going to be feeling that. Sure. But it's not like, I can't believe I did that. You know, it's like good for you, man. I'm glad I did that. I feel better now that I did that. So that's also what I try to keep in mind. So, long-winded way to say, yeah, your boy's back in the gym. Hopefully it stays. I'll try to keep you all updated. I might even make a channel in my Discord for like the same kind of accountability idea. I don't know, maybe post a picture every time I'm in the gym every day to make sure you guys can keep me honest. And if anybody else wants to try that, feel free to hop on in there. It's not to shame people if they don't. I don't want to fuel myself in an unhealthy way, but in a way to lift and to also let other people know, like, it's not the end of the world. You take a day off, that's fine. That's what I've learned a lot more over the last year and a half, though, because back when I was in it, hitting the gym 6-7 days a week, first off, I need to learn how to take days off from the gym. It's actually kind of a theme in my entire life. I'm 0 or 100. But I would, like, 1 or 2 days missed, and I'm like, bro, it's over. Or, like, I don't know, I'd have a trip, and there's, like, 3 or 4 days I can't work out. I'm like, I'm going to lose all my progress, bro. What am I doing? And now I realize, bro, what? In the grand scheme of things, ain't no way. Because, like, now it's been, like, a year and a half, really, since I was really hitting the gym. And I'm like, all right, I'm way smaller, but, dude, look at still all the progress you have. Like, you're, all the residual stuff you still held on. And it's been a year and a half. So, like, one day will not kill you. As long as you're consistent enough. So that's also what I'm trying to keep in mind these days. Like, it won't be the end of the world. Or, like, you know, if you go on a trip or something, it's like 4 or 5 days. Okay, then just take the 4 or 5 days off. It's not going to be that bad. So, anyway, yeah, guess I've been hitting the gym. In other good news, or exciting news, also shout out to all the people listening to the YAP cast. I am seeing all of your feedback. Got to be there mentally before you're there physically. That mindset is pretty admirable. Trying. But yeah, the gym. It's Pog. You know what else is Pog? The fact that the Bazaar is finally going open beta, baby. Boom, March 5th. As of the day this episode's probably gone live. 3 days, whatever. March 5th, Wednesday. It's finally happening. So for all those that were waiting for the open beta, so that you didn't want to buy the founders, boom, there you go. If you did want to get the founders for the little goodies it'll have, because I guess you won't be able to get those anywhere else, well, those are going away. So that's something you want. Not necessary at all. They didn't say if the new character's coming out with them. Originally, I think they said whenever open beta is coming out, Mac, the next hero, would come out. However, I think that was also when they're like, yo, open beta the beginning of December. So I have no idea. It will not be coming to mobile. Mobile is planned, but there's no release date. I assume if we were going to get mobile, it would be 1.0 or maybe even later. I have no idea. They did say mobile will be happening, though. I, for one, am glad it's not, because it's already taken over my life enough. If it's on mobile, it's Jover for me, all right? So give this man a bit of a fighting chance. Let me get back in my gym routine first, okay, before we get mobile Bazaar, because I can't take it. Fun fact, the last 41 videos of Mr. Fruit Uncut have been Bazaar content, and it's been great. Hey, today we're going to make that 42, all right? Now, yeah, I'm fully expecting I'm probably going to try and stream it, but I'll have a backup game because I'm fully expecting that servers are just going to blow up. They're going to try their best, and they talk about that's been their biggest struggle with Microsoft, I guess, is how they're whatever been dealing with servers. So and unfortunately, they said that really the only way to figure out and test problems is when they break. So just know Wednesday as well. You might be excited, but also expect to maybe not be able to play much of the day. So maybe Thursday, I don't know. Either way, I'm excited. Glad some more people are going to be able to get in. Also because, please, man, like, get some noobs up in here, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's just sweat fest out here, right, man? I'll be honest, I haven't really played the last 2 patches, mainly because I've just been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance. But, yeah, I mean, it's just, that's why most of the videos I've been posting are like, I try to record 3 or 4 the day that like a new patch goes live, because everybody's still figuring out stuff. It's new. But bro, by day 3, day 4, you're seeing the same things by everything. Right now, it's like freaking double barrel Vanessa everywhere. And it's just not quite as fun because they're still trying to reel things in, and there's less players, and everybody's just trying to win as many games as possible, and Metaslave or whatever. So we'll end up seeing, it should help with the pool, you know, just more players, more casual, but then it also means more fun for everyone, including newer players, because there are still some people who are like, hey, I just picked it up. Like, is everybody a pro, Are there no bad builds out there? What the fudge, man? So, yeah, being able to dilute the pool a little bit in that sense. Same way, you know, I kind of talked about, if you ever watched that Deadlock video I recently posted, talking about how the game's in a tough spot because it's closed alpha. And the only people, like, at this point in the game's life cycle, a lot of the people left playing are just the people who play and are, like, sweating. So then someone's like, ooh, I've heard about this. Oh, I got an invite. Let me try. Oh, my God. And then they get pub stomped. And it's sort of like a self-fulfilling circle until it opens up to more people and it becomes that broader skill level again. Which, speaking of that video, too, the video did pretty well, but for, like, the wrong reasons. A lot of it is, it's like one of my most disliked videos, which, to be fair, is still like 90%. Granted, that's because most of the people liking and watching my videos are just my subscribers. But I'm like, for reference, most are like 99.7%. So I'm like, oh, there's a lot of comments about people just trying to yell at me for clickbaiting. If you guys didn't know what the video is, it's called The Rise and Fall of Deadlock. And most of the comments, you can imagine, like, bro, how can it fall already? It's a closed alpha. Or like, this doesn't even make sense. And here's the thing, like, if they watched like a minute and a half into the video, I would really make like I hit all the topics they're mentioning in the comments and agree with them. And the whole point is, some people are saying like, oh, Deadlock's, but where did Deadlock go? And then I'm like, it didn't go anywhere. It's a closed alpha, man. And this is why. But everybody's just jumping at me. And they're like, and then one of them, I was like, bro, what the fudge is this? And it's like, okay, instead of doing a deep dive into the rise and fall of Deadlock, a closed alpha, let's do a deep dive into the rise and fall of a 2 million subscriber YouTuber who has to clickbait to not even average 50,000 views. I'm like, all right, that's a little personal, man. What the fudge? I'm like, all right, let's chill, man. What you mean by that? But here's the unfortunate truth, right? I gotta play the game, man. Okay, all those people commenting, guess what? They would not have clicked the video otherwise. Now, they think it's clickbait because they don't watch the video. Clickbaiting is sensationally misleading somebody to click onto something that isn't actually it. But actually, I go exactly into everything. Like, if you look at what does the rise and fall of Deadlock mean, that video goes through exactly what that means. But the unfortunate part of YouTube these days is you gotta play the game. You want people to click. And so, like, I would have loved to just, you know, throw it back to old Mr.Fruit. Boom. Get an Abrams cutout. Beep, 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 beep. Throw it on a space background. And Cubano font. This is what that... Say, Deadlock. And then in Arvel font. That was the little one. Say, like, State of Deadlock. And the title is, like, Revisiting Deadlock. You know, that'd be great, man. But guess what? Those days of YouTube are long gone, man. All right? Ain't nobody clicking that. And it's unfortunate. I don't want to do it, man. But I just... This YouTube, it's my job, bro. I got to make a living, man. I got to try to get people to click it. I can't get many people to click many things these days. So... And then people are coming after me. And then the crazy thing too is, like, all of you who are complaining, I'm on your side. Watch the video, man. But nobody, I get it. They just sit that and like, freaking rage baiting, freaking sucking on my, and it's just like, whatever, man. So that's YouTube these days. Let me tell you what. Let me tell you something. Because it's crazy out there. It's like Marvel Rivals is crazy, which made a Human Torch video. And I was like, bro, it's criminal. I open it up by saying, like, bro, it's criminal that Human Torch never says flame on. Because, like, the thing, he's got, like, it's clobbering time, you know, when he ults. And I'm like, bro, why? The Human Torch, apparently he does when he spawns in. So I got clowned on, rightfully for that one, though. And I was like, yeah, fair. Did not realize he said flame on. Plus, everybody's like, he does that when he turns on his powers, and he always has his powers. I'm like, yeah, but like when he ults, I don't know, he's going supernova, man. That's what he calls it. It's like he's just say the thing, man. Like, I don't know, put the catchphrase in the bag, bro. But speaking of Marvel Rivals, James Gunn recently made a comment saying that they are interested or looking into potentially doing Marvel Rivals, but DCU, or the DC Universe. Which, I mean, let's be honest. Hey, James Gunn, did you see the headline? What headline? The headline that Marvel Rivals in like 2 months or something just made $2.7 billion. We should make one. That's probably how it went, you know, something like that. Or like, hey, did you see this Marvel Rivals game? It's making a lot of money and drumming up even more hype, and their comics are selling way better than ours, and people watching these movies again, and DCU stays losing. He's like, all right. We're always one step behind these days. We should maybe do something about that. So, hey, if they end up making a Marvel Rivals rival, funnily enough, you know, like a competitor that is DC and is good, sweet. But see, like, you can't just stop that sentence halfway. We got to get to the and it's good. Like, they didn't just copy the homework, but not understand, like a lot of companies do, or a lot of developers, like, they're like, oh, wait, this is successful. We should do this. But then takes all the wrong reasons and doesn't take the right takeaways as to why that game succeeds, and then tries to, why didn't this succeed? Why is it that I don't get it? So hopefully that's not the case. And it's just like, wow, if we make a game with our heroes that's a hero shooter, we'll rake in money and everyone will love it. And it'll be a great, well, hold up a minute. A lot of hero shooters have tried to make it. Why do you think they haven't popped off like Marvel Rivals? Granted, Marvel Rivals has a big established IP, but so does DC characters. So we have to hope. But they also have to try to bring something else to it, because people tried to joke like, oh, Marvel Rivals, that Overwatch clone. Except Marvel Rivals did some different things. They really did. And then they iterated. And if it was just a one-on-one clone, it wouldn't have been successful. But if they come out with DC Rivals, and that'd be a lot easier to say, like, oh, you mean the Marvel Rivals clone. So they better differentiate themselves. Now, granted, that was just a side comment he had said, some sidebar thing. If that's true, we're also years away from that ever being a thing, because it's not like they're like, all right, guys, let's get going on that, and that'll pop up in no time. So by then, who knows? Maybe people are fiending for more shooters again, or maybe the hero shooter genre as a whole is completely stagnated, completely dead, and there's no more room for competitors. Who knows? I don't envy being a person trying to forecast video game trends these days, because Lord only knows what. I come from a day where live service weren't a thing. DLC, in quotations, if you ever had it, was a map pack. There's like 1 or 2 multiplayer maps for the multiplayer mode of the game, and that was it. You bought the game day one. That was the game, and then you actually got like sequels or new IPs. New IPs, new ideas. What? You're telling me like a lot of AAA releases every year? Huh? That's crazy. See, I come from a completely different time. Now, granted, that time also had its downfall, though, because we didn't have indie games. Not until the Xbox Live Arcade came around, and you had like Fez, and I think it was like Spelunky, and Doritos Arcade. Obstacle Course, that was kind of a banger, though. But indie games were just not viable. Weren't really a thing. And guess what? Like, my favorite genre is now, like, roguelikes. Guess what? Those are all indies. I love indie games. And now they're coming out like boo koodles every day. There's too many almost. So it's a great sense in that. There are more good games to play than ever, but not in the same way that we had games before, or of the same genre or caliber or whatever. So yeah. I don't know where I was going with that one. So, I guess speaking of roguelikes, though, I made a video on Dying the Dungeon, a little 4-hour movie, my fault. Goated, though. Just another one of those instances where indie roguelike comes out. I'm like, oh, I'll try it. They have, once you beat it, like a lot of roguelikes, they have like, then you have like a higher difficulty run. And in this case, since it's die related, you know how it is. Normal difficulty, then there's D1 difficulty, D2, D3, and then D4. I beat them all. Love that grind. Super fun game. If you guys haven't already seen that video. But just another roguelike that just kind of popped up. Boom. And I'm like, oh my God, I freaking love this. Which I'm currently looking at my Steam, and I've downloaded like 25 or 30 demos from the new Steam Next Fest, whatever. Which, for those unaware, Steam, I think maybe like twice a year or something. I don't know how often. Does this like Next Fest thing where it showcases a whole bunch of upcoming games and developers can get these demos out. A lot of cool games to play. So for me, though, the problem is like, oh my God, 25, 30 free. There's even more. Like, how am I going to get through all these to potentially maybe find something to make a video on? I will say one of those is Among Us 3D. And I have tried to rally the troops. We might get an actual recording session of Among Us, of all things, with some of the OGs. It's difficult these days, but a little throwback. So look forward to that. But yeah, so that's something we didn't have back in the day, that's for sure. And free-to-play games, too. Those did not exist. Like, they weren't free-to-play games. So it's easier than ever. But I think that has also, I don't know, both good and bad. It's just sort of like the same way with social media sites, and especially like short-related content, where we're being pulled too many different ways and there's too many things to focus on that it makes it difficult. And like, now there are so many games. It's so hard. It's almost like exhausting or daunting to try and pay attention to new things or follow things. So a lot of people just stick to one or all over the place and don't stick to any. And then that's the weird thing too. We're in that state or age of gaming, while simultaneously companies are like, let's make a live service game where the intention is to make sure it's their full-time job and they never get to play other games and all they do is play our game. But then it's like, but there's so many other games, man. So I like games that value your time, you know? Roguelikes certainly do. Usually no yapping, you get right to it. You get the fun gameplay, you lose, boom, here's some monkey reward, like monkey happy, boom, 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 endorphins, neurons.
That's right. Chubby's is back again, sponsoring the GG Over Easy podcast, and we couldn't be more excited. Spring is almost here, so it's time to shake off those heavy layers and burst out those beautiful thighs, gentlemen. Whether you're on spring break, headed to a barbecue, or playing a round of golf, or delivering a podcast ad read, Chubby's has the styles for your spring occasion. I've been wearing their original stretch shorts, and I'm not joking, you guys. After the years of LBs I've gotten gained over the years, they still fit comfortably, and they're awesome. Experience the unmatched comfort and style with Chubby's iconic original stretch short. Depending on how much thigh you're looking to show, Chubby's makes them 4, 5.5, and 7-inch seams. Enjoy the classic men khaki style with added comfort of elastic. So whether you're going to get dressed for a work day, a workout, or a weekend getaway, Chubby's has you covered. For a limited time, Chubby's is giving our viewers 20% off your order with the code EASY at chubbyshorts.com. And that's code EZ at chubbyshorts.com. Support our show and tell them we sent you. Don't blend in with the crowd. Stand out with Chubby's.
It's firing. Here's some rewards. Go do it again. Boom. And I do it. Lord knows I do it. Roguelikes are like my comfort food. You know what I'm saying? Was it Koreans have kanji? And if you ever had that, it's actually pretty fire. They make some good kanji. But I guess that's like their comfort food. Well, my kanji, roguelikes. Now you're like, that was a weird metaphor, Mr. Why wouldn't you just say like chicken noodle soup? You're American. You're not wrong. You're not. But the point is comfort food. Anyway, what do you want from me? I mentioned it briefly previously, but yeah, I haven't been playing as much Bazaar because I've still been playing a lot of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. Although, for better or for worse, I only have like 5 or 6 hours left of the main story. Side quests outside of that, probably at least another 10. And I've already clocked like 100 hours. It's crazy, bro. That game is crazy. But we were just recently playing Monster Hunter Wilds, because that came out as of the time I'm recording yesterday. I skipped every dialogue and cutscene, bro. Look, let's just get this out of the way first. As many of you probably know, I'm not a Monster Hunter guy. Haven't really played. I think the one thing I played was Monster Hunter Rise or Worlds. I don't know. There was a sponsored video on it. Played for about 2 hours. Made that video. So I played Monster Hunter for about 2 hours. I think I've tried to dabble outside of that before and it never caught my attention. Now, granted, I love those 2 hours. No, I'm sorry, forgetting. But outside of that, never really caught me. So Monster Hunter Wilds, everybody's talking about it. And everybody's like, you gotta try, you gotta play it. So I am a fair man. I like to keep an open mind. So, I'm like, okay. Otherwise, probably wouldn't check it out. But you know what? I'll give anything a shot, more or less. I've even been trying to give Civilization 7 a shot for my wife. All right, so what do you want from me? And we were playing, but I skipped every dialogue and cussing because I've talked about this. I know going in, this game has not bought me. I have not bought into this game, right? I'm not already like, all right, let's see where this goes. I'm like, this game has to hook me. It needs to buy me in. And it's not going to do that with cutscenes, dialogue yapping, okay? I need to enjoy the hunting the monsters part. And I got to tell you, they make it really hard for you to do that during the story, bro. Let me walk Rob had a good analogy. Monster Hunter is like sick Elden Ring boss fight for a couple minutes. Then it's like 30 minutes of Pokemon Snap. You're like, dun, dun, it's freaking thunderstorm, bro. It's like the end of the world. You're freaking fighting Mega Zapdos. It's sick. You're like, yeah, doing these anime things. Pop, 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 pop. Then you kill it, and it's like, boom, mission complete. And then shroom, yap, 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 and yap, yappity, yap, 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 yap. My cat's going meow. And then you go to the city. And then once you get to the city, you're like, cool, now go yap more. Yap, 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 yap. Okay, now that you've done that, go yap to that person. Yap, 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 yap. Okay, you all ready? Let's go. Then you hop on your Raptor Chocobro things. And then you walk around just like in a slow pace of a thing for like wow, look at those. You practice, and it's like Pokemon Snap, like, ching. Oh, that's cool. You're going on like a little safari thing, which like, cool, man, whatever. Let me skip this. Then get back to the yap, 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 and yap, yap, walking. And it's so slow. And that's the formula. I mean, it's so far been the same. We're like 8 hours in. You fight a dude, you go to the village, you talk to way too many people, you hop on your little Velociraptor, walk to the next area very slowly while they're yapping or whatever. Boom. Yap, yap, yappity yap. Oh, we think there's a monster. Slowly go on your little safari expedition. Whoa, there it is. We should probably wait for other people every time. This is a job for the guild. And then, don't ask me why, but I set my character's voice to sound like the Jigsaw guy. And he's like,
no, I can take this alone. Don't fear. I will fight it.
And then I go in and I fight it. Rinse and repeat. 8 hours, brother. So, here's the thing. I've been enjoying the gameplay. First off, multiplayer, literally, okay, so it was me, Rob, and Dado, right? Trying to play it. None of us are Monster Hunter players, right? We'll give it a shot. Dado crashed out after 5 hours. I mean, like, crashed out. I don't know if I've ever heard Dado that upset. He made a Twitter post, but then he crashed out on us, left, just ended his stream, and it was crashing out in a Discord channel I saw. I don't think he's coming back. Rightfully so. Because for him, it's like, yeah, I want to play this game with buds. It is incredible. Incredible how difficult they make that. Now, I've been told after the story or whatever, and once you just get to like the grinding expeditions, it's easier. I believe you. Granted, it's still way too many menus, but like, okay, I believe you. But that doesn't matter. That's sort of like the, bro, well, just, watch the first 8 seasons. It gets better after that. It's like, what? You're going to have a hard time getting somebody to do that when it's like, bro, enjoy bashing your head against the wall trying to play this story with your friends for the first 15, 16 hours or something. I mean, it's incredible. It's like a menu and a menu and a menu to pop up another menu and then in Steam to then go back to then invite to. There's like 7 different party types. And then when you're in there, possibly get the invitation. But if you're doing this, you can't accept. If you're doing that, and you have to be, and then this, and then that, and then, it's insane. They make it very difficult. Rob and I persevered. Dado did not. And yeah, so here's the thing. I want to get to past the story part to see what that's like. Because there was one brief period towards the beginning. We did like the first 1 or 2 main stories. And then they're like, hey, maybe you should go hunt some extra monsters just for fun before we head out. So I'm like, all right, let's do that. So we got in like a little open world group. And then we fought like 3 monsters. We hunted like 3 back to back to back. And I'm like, this is fun. And it's just working. But then we're back to the main story, Pokemon Snap, blah, 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 blah. So I'm like, okay. I saw a glimpse. I just got to get there. I saw a glimpse of what it could be. I was enjoying it. So I just got to get there. So hopefully get there sooner rather than later. But I was playing the longsword, which I know is like normie, but that was the whole point, bro. I spent like an hour when they're like, choose your weapon. I'm like, oh my God. Like choice paralysis. On top of that, I didn't realize I was playing a fighting game, bro. You pick up a weapon and they're like, all right, quarter circle forward, quarter circle back, half fireball, up punch in the event that you're opposite of them under a crescent moon. And I'm like, oh, what the dickens? So I went with like one of the most straightforward ones because I was like, again, don't, like some people are like, use the freaking drum hammer thing, which is pretty funny. It's like a giant tuba saxophone thing. And I was enjoying it, but like you got to read like freaking sheet music, bro. And you got to play music and then play those to do things in the middle of combat. I'm like, bro, I'm going to be looking at sheet music rather than the boss in the first place. And that's not going to go well. Everybody's like, haha, do it. And I'm like, guys, do you want me to play this game again? Because currently the game needs to hook me. I don't think I'm going to get hooked if I'm trying to use one of the hardest weapons. So I went with longsword, which is a little more straightforward. And it has parry sort of thing. You know, I love parries. And yeah, it was fun. I'll say it. You know, I was having fun when I was fighting the monsters. I don't really care about everything else. And again, multiplayer. I might go out on a limb and say the worst multiplayer experience I've ever had of any game ever. Like, in a game so focused around it. And who has had so many iterations. I don't know how they could have made it more convoluted. I really don't. It's mind-boggling. Like if I didn't know, they took the multiplayer part and outsourced it to Nintendo. And you're like, hey, make this multiplayer portion for us. And Nintendo's like, aha, you know that's our specialty, bro. Bet. And then that would make sense. That's the only thing that makes sense. So anyway, Monster Hunter Wilds, fun. It's also blowing up. It's like peaking at like 1.4 million on Steam or something right now. Even though performance, it has like a 40% review on rating on Steam because performance for most people is terrible. Like it's getting torn apart. Again, also kind of inexcusable. But whatever, what do I know? One thing I do know. I don't know why I put here on my list. I've been gassy. I really have been, man. I don't know what it is. Well, I think more working out a little bit more, getting a little more protein. Protein farts are a different animal, man. I really don't know why I wrote that down now, because that's really all there is to that. As I take a swig of this advanced GG, I did want to say, I don't have a hard date yet, but coming soon, visual viewers, oh God, you know what I'm talking about. You all know my giant water bottle, my gallon jug, which I just drink too much water. Affectionately call my Jalen, a gallon jug. So it's a gallon with a J, Jalen. We'll have our first ever Mr.Fruit Jalen, advanced GG jug. I talked with the Peter, the guy that leads advanced, because I remember I was at like Danielle's or something, and they had like a quart jug thing I'd never seen before. I was like, how'd you get that? I'm like, wait, could they do a gallon? I've always wanted to just do a gallon. Don't ask me why, but it's just been on my bucket list. So there's going to be like an engraved one. Now, granted, I more so just want to do it because I've always wanted to do it. I was never told. I have no bearing on price or anything, and I guess a gallon stainless steel engraved thing is not cheap, I guess. So I expect not that many people are going to be able to get it, which is fine for me, I think. I don't think it's my dime. Advanced might not be so happy. They're probably expecting me to, probably thinking I'm a little more relevant than I am these days. But look out for that. If you want to be a hydro homie like myself. I think I can already tell you the price too, so you guys aren't shocked. I think it's going to be like $99. I mean, that's a lot. You know, I'm not, so I don't blame anybody for not getting it. But I'll also say, I mean, that's just it, bro. You use it every day and you'll never need another water bottle in your life. The reason it's so helpful, the reason I got a gallon jug and why I like it is because well, one, I have goldfish memory. But two, you should drink, like, it's recommended to drink about a gallon of water a day. Stay hydrated, especially if you're active. So it's great because for me, it's an easy way to track. It's just one bottle. Start of the day, I fill it up. And by the end of the day, how much did I drink? And when I'm like at my desk and I'm thirsty, it's not like, oh, that's empty. I have to go fill it up. But then I don't do that. And then I don't have water. Just like, oh, right. And then I waterboard myself. Especially with my ADHD, because it'll be like an hour. And I'm like, oh, I haven't drank any water. And I just put it. So that's why gallon jug has been the play. I don't put ice in it. Now, that's up to you guys. But here's a hot take. And if you get the gallon, I have a challenge for you. All I ask, for a week, okay? Hear me out. Room temp water. Like, open up the tap if you want, right? Granted, for me, I'm in Colorado, so tap is like delicious. Wherever you are, put in a gallon of water, but don't put any ice in it, okay? Let it sit at just lukewarm temp, whatever. It stays like slightly cold, but try it. Here's the thing, especially if you're not quite a hydro homie who tries to drink a bunch of water. Cold water is refreshing, but it is not hydrating. It's not thirst quenching. You can't drink a bunch of cold water. I used to be a cold water stan, bro. If you're like, dude, you're listening to a guy who used to die on the hill for like ice cold water, and room temp would make me gag. Okay, so I'm just telling you, give it a week. Give it a week. And then if you're still like, I can't do this, fine. But just hear me out, all right? Because then also, depending on like the ice cubes too, if it's a little bit of a different taste, then over the day, you know, it doesn't like dissolve or whatever, and then kind of get like that little weird taste in the water. You know what I'm talking about. Like it dissolves in the water. It's just a little different. Get the gallon. Because you can freaking chug that stuff too. That's why you're like, oh, I'm thirsty. That's also what keeps you hydrated more. If you're thirsty and you grab some ice cold water, you try and down that. You might be like, ooh, that was good, but you down like maybe a quarter of what I'm downing, bro. Get that room temp. Open up that gullet. Freaking. That was crazy. But, yeah, anyway. That's coming out eventually soonish. You guys want to check that out. And if you don't end up getting it, totally fine. I don't hold it against you, but you should try it with some sort of a gallon jug if you don't already. But, what is it? I gotta leave here soonish. What else do I have on the list here? I kind of hit everything. Oh, one more thing. When I was playing Monster Hunter Wilds, I came to a realization, which I find quite a bit. At the start, you know, they have like the EULA, here are the terms and services. Do you sign your life away? We're going to spy on you. That whole thing. And you got to accept, and then it's like enter your birthday, your birth date or whatever. Bro, it just gets tough because like every time I do, suddenly I'm scrolling a little bit longer. A little bit longer, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was reminiscing on the days where I used to fake my birthday because I'm like, oh, just to be safe. I don't know if I'm old enough. And now I'm like, they might think I'm lying. Why would I be playing this in my, you know? Now it's like, well, I don't have to worry about that anymore. Scrolling, bro. Scrolling. Most of you know that. I know audience skews a little older. And the fun part, too, is most of you have been aging with me. So, you know, if my back hurts, hey, so does yours. So, joke's on you. In 1995, 1993. I mean, I'm right in the middle, 1994. And I know a lot of people are listening like, he's only going to be 31 this year, and bro thinks he's unk status. Well, actually, I think that does make me unk status. Actually, I am an uncle. So, I am unk status. But especially when you're in my line of work, surrounded by a lot of the creators and up and coming too, who are just, they skew younger. You certainly feel it a lot faster. Plus I have the body of like a 50 or 60-year-old. You all can try to like, we all say that. You know, people like, I hit 30, my back's hurting. I'm like, bro, I hit 20, my back was hurting. Okay? Catch up. All right? Rookie numbers, bro. You all know my health stuff, so don't you try that with me. And that reminds me, I did go to the ortho. These rubber bands are killing me. But best case scenario, so this is the earliest possible, your boy will be out of braces in 3 months. Please, brother, I'm begging you. I think I've had these longer than I did when I was a teenager, man. I want out of these things, man. But granted, I would rather everything be done. But once I get my braces off, that's like that's the end of the tunnel. Hopefully. Like I made it. Now I got to make sure I'm wearing retainer and a splint, like, you know, every night. And I think for the first couple months during the day. But hopefully it's just all behind me. Yeah, I'll have a permanent retainer, I think, but something like that. But put that chapter of my life behind me. You know what I'm saying? Please, dear Lord. So with that, pretty much wraps up what I had to talk about here. I didn't realize I'd be doing a YAP cast, so I had about 5 minutes to write some stuff down. There are some Q&A, I believe, because I figured out Rob just like deletes all the ones we already did. So I'll try and do a couple of these that don't need the other boys' input here. So Gray asks, if the U.S. military had to run the ones on every legendary Pokemon, how far are we making? Starting from Gen 1. Okay, maybe you guys... What you mean? The U.S. military had to run the ones. Because, like, if I say that fast, run the runs. What do they mean by that? I don't know. Is this brain rot talk? Or is this a term I'm unfamiliar with? Are they saying fight? Like one-on-one? Is it 1v1? I don't, like, it's literally 1'S. So I'm not entirely sure. So I'm just going to interpret it the best way that I can. So if the U.S. military had... So I'm assuming it's U.S. military as a whole, not like a soldier of the U.S. military had to one-on-one, because, I mean, it's not a question for anything. But assuming it's not global powers, you know, like we're not getting other military. So it's just the U.S. military versus every legendary Pokemon. But I'm assuming one by one. So if we start from Gen 1, and I guess I have to be careful because I get pseudos mixed up. But I guess we would start with the 3 birds. Because what? Gen 1 had the 3 birds, Mewtwo, Mew. Although, Mew's mythical, but whatever. I think that's legendary. That's legendary to me. So let's say freaking Zapdos. It's a big electric bird, but that's getting shot out of the sky, man. I think for pretty much all the artillery or all the legendary birds, some heavy anti-air gonna go pretty crazy. They might take out a couple units, maybe a couple tanks. Like Zapdos might have the best chance if its electric attacks can somewhat mimic like an EMP burst or pulse or fry some electronics. That would be its best bet. But I imagine them bullets just gonna shoot some giant holes in them wings, and they're going right down. So, I mean, they maybe take a couple with them, but I don't think they stand the best chance. Some foot soldiers ain't gonna have a good time, but like any serious equipment, I don't know about that one. Even just other like aerial units, helicopters probably wouldn't fare too well. But like some fighter jets or something, I think they're kind of vibing. You know, I'm gonna be honest, Chief. Especially, I think the weakest one would be Moltres. Unless Moltres' flames and stream is like obscene levels of hot, a lot of stuff just going through a little bit of fire is not going to be the end of the world. So, yeah, legendary bird's not doing much. Now, Mewtwo. See, I don't know. That might even just... Is the jig up? I think the jig might just be up. Like, you got the first 3, but then you're up against Mewtwo. Now, the way I look at Mewtwo is like Wanda from, like, Marvel. I mean, crazy telekinesis powers, teleportation, the ability to, like, harness and stop energy or whatever, you know, just create a barrier around itself. Projectiles won't pierce it. I assume the same way you throw a giant explosion on it, it just shields itself. Or it teleports out. It can lift things. I don't think weight's an issue. Even that, like, you throw a nuke at it, okay, well, then he's just going to, like, take it and throw it back or something. You know what I'm saying? Or explode it, but then just, like, contain the explosion somewhere, not where he is. I don't know. The birds is a sweep, but I don't know. Mewtwo might just be it, brother. No, I'm glad you agree. I think the Mewtwo soul is the U.S. military, is what I'm talking about. I was just talking, it's like Wanda. I mean, maybe after enough is thrown at it, it would wear out. But with telekinesis and energy manipulation but what? Because, like, I'm thinking, I don't know, like I don't even think a nuke takes out Mewtwo, right? So it's just maybe you just catch him slipping, you know? Because that's really it. Well, no. Well, you shoot a nuke at him, he just like controls it and throws it back, or because I think of it as like Wanda for Marvel. Because I was just actually watching Civil War yesterday, but like the guy like explodes a suicide vest, but she can take her energy and then just contain that explosion in like the little circle, so you can just contain all the energy in there. Kind of the same thing I would think of the nuke, you know, like it goes off and then he just like and he holds it. And so I guess the argument is, how powerful is he? Because like if he has insane levels, he could do anything. But like I don't know, maybe there's a limit. Like okay, the power of a nuke. True, maybe he does run out of PP. That could be it. Okay, but if the U.S. military is coming strapped, you gotta think Mewtwo's got some full elixirs. Like he's got some max elixirs at least, bro. Maybe some full restores. Yeah, he has a 3 healing item limit. Well, so they cleared the legendary birds though. So for every time the legendary birds, his heals refresh. You know, because we're going Gen. They're saying if the U.S. military 1v1s legendaries, starting from Gen 1, like how far do they make it? And I'm like, okay, birds, boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I see that, pretty easy. But then I got to Mewtwo, and I'm like, oh wait, I don't know, is that like that? And then he can just like teleport anywhere too. So it's like, oh, whoop, you know, and he'll even make the little Smash Brothers melee sound like the boom, boom. Yeah, I don't think Selby's gonna try and like root it up, and that's not gonna go very well. Mew, I don't know, it's kind of a similar one, but Mew doesn't have that dog in him. See, like Mewtwo's like, I'll kill, you know? But Mew is like, and it's just gonna like play around and then it's gonna get caught slipping. So then Gen 2, I think yeah. I don't think they're taking out much. Lugia and Ho-Oh, I kind of see the same thing. They might take out some stuff, but I think they're getting brought down pretty easily. So then it goes to Gen 3. Oh, I guess Celebi technically is a mythical, whatever. But yes, Celebi. I mean, I don't know, bro. I saw that freaking mute. I saw the Celebi movie, bro. And it did make me a Celebi believer. I'll just say that. You know, they're kind of weak, man. Yeah, what are you gonna do? Grow some vines, man? I don't see it. But I guess what we have to think about is like if the U.S. military, it's like a turn-based game. Yeah, you know, like if you ever play like Advanced Wars, like those, like you have one unit and then you fight a unit and they might not kill each other, but like this unit did 70% damage to this one did 30%. So like, you know, maybe the U.S. military gets through the Gen 1 legendaries, but now they're at like 80%, you know? But then we have to think too, okay, maybe they are taking them out, but like how much damage are they sustaining to the point where they have so little that it doesn't really matter? I don't know. But that's a whole other can of worms. So I think the next legendary in line that I think's like, okay, this could really pose an issue. I'd say probably Kyogre. Yeah. Giant Storm. Can fight in the water. And while the military can do that, that's certainly not their strength. And, I mean, I think Kyogre could handle some subs. I'd like to think. And Groudon, I think, sure, he can make things really hot, you know, and then maybe some of them are complaining they need some fans or something. But, like, the U.S. military did that in Afghanistan. Like, that was pretty much Primal Groudon with his permanent sun. So they managed, and it's on land. So now Rayquaza, but see, like, it's like I think a nuke's taking out Rayquaza, but he can go into space. It was, yeah, but it's a deep one, so this might be the only one we get to. No, yeah, I just decided to riff off the old classic military verse. Boom. Well, it's just time because yeah, when we finish this, we're gonna wrap it up. So I think Rayquaza could do something. Like I think his best case is taking some of the battle out the space. Maybe the same for Deoxys. I mean, Deoxys does like Deoxys, for instance. But like, I don't know. He can kind of adapt. Like, I don't know if he gets hit with a nuke, is like defensive form Deoxys enough to just like face tank. I don't know. And then he's like, oh, I need super speedy speed form. So he can kind of play the field. But I don't think he's wiping the military. Then, true. Gen 4. I can't think of an order, but like Nocturne. Nope, that's the league champ. Darkrai. That's the guy. Yeah, that's crazy. Darkrai could be pretty good. He can make things very spooky, very dark, but also nightmares, put people to sleep. But here's the problem. He can put people to sleep, but not drones, not AI. So I think with the soldiers, I think they have to pull them back, you know, go autonomous stuff. And then Darkrai doesn't have as good of a chance. You do have literal God. Arceus is Gen 4. So, So I don't know if he just like freaking, and he just start like, is he like a necromancer just raising Pokemon? I don't know. Do it again. Dialga and Palkia. Well, actually, all of them. I mean, if you think about it, because like Dialga can control time, Palkia can control space. Giratina is something in there, and he has his weird dimensional space. I don't really know. But I mean, that's pretty OP. So I think Gen 4 is maybe where it ends. Between Dialga, Palkia, Giratina, Arceus, Darkrai. Yeah. They can only go so many rounds. And I think after the whittling of Gen 1 through 3, mainly Mewtwo, and then the Gen 4, I think that's where it ends. You've got Tornadus. What the? I can't even think. Tornadus. Landorus and Thundurus. Don't know why that took so long. Or no. Yeah? But then you also have Terrakion. Were those also Gen 5? No. Why am I getting so mixed up now? Did they have? Yeah. Terrakion. Oh, so you did. Cobalt. Cobalion, Virizion, and Keldeo. Oh, I forgot the Regis in Gen 3. Oh, and the... Yeah, but like Uxie, Mesprit, Azelf, I think they're getting torched, bro. I don't know. I think the best they can do is self-destruct and take, like, you know, take one for the team and take out as many as they can. You know? That's real all they're good for anyway. But I... yeah, then the rest just battle it out. I guess I was just confused because I didn't realize Gen 5... I guess they didn't really roam. But I always thought of Terrakion, Virizion, and Cobalion as roaming legendaries. Because if you put that with the weather genies, that's 6. But I never realized. So. Anyway, that was probably way more than you asked for that Q&A question. As is pretty fitting, we got through count 'em 1 for the day. And with that, we close out this mainly Yapcast, but surprise guest appearance from our esteemed colleague, Rob. Well, no need. That concludes this episode of the GG Easy podcast. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Stay tuned for next week. Hope you guys have a good week. Hope you Bazaar pilled viewers finally get to play and enjoy. And we'll see you then. Farewell. Beanie, 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 beanie.